nowadays I often receive a lot of queries regarding properties that why we consider that this is an appropriate time to buy a property. What is so phenomenal happening around that property rates are appreciating and giving returns like none of the asset class across the regions. So if we talk about traditional asset class, barring apart virtual or we can say cryptocurrency kind of a phenomena which is now happening all across, we majorly dealt in the four major asset class, which include gold, debt, equity and real estate. Majorly these are mutually correlated, or we can say inverse correlated in terms of their trend. If equity is performing, debt is not so performing, or probably if equity is not performing, real estate give returns like anything. So what is the correlation and why we consider this is an appropriate time we shall invest into the real estate? So let me take it through a few basics. If we talk about financial control, or we can talk about a basic economics, our financial systems is very much dependent on the repo rate, reverse repo rate and the CRR. Just to give you a basic idea about what these factors are, CRR is a reserve ratio which basically RBI holds just to secure clientels, basic customers against commercial banks. Repo rate is a kind of a lending which they give to the commercial bank to sustain the economical system, and reverse repo is sometime when there is always an excess of funds which commercial bank do have, they give it back to RBI. So the only objective of having these instruments in place is to provide a liquidity in the market. Liquidity is basically a phenomena which talks about how the demand and supply works around. It means if RBI reduce the cash reserve ratio, then the liquidity will come to the commercial banks. So when they have the liquidity, what they will do? They definitely need less money from the public. It means they can reduce the interest rate on the fixed deposits, but at the same time, since they have a surplus funds, they will lend at a cheaper price. So people borrow more money at a lesser rate to invest. Vice versa is also true. So when we talk about today's scenario, because of pandemic, RBI has took certain actions to reduce the repo. In turn, it provide a good amount of liquidity in the market just to sustain the business as well as to give a breather to the common man. At the same time, since one asset class, which is real estate, is non-performing from last 10 to 12 years, reached to a level wherein it is, we can say, at a level, which is a very lower level in this segment. Because of this liquidity, there is a lot of investors, lot of end users are investing into the market. Because having the sustenance demand, there are very limited supplies. So I always recommended my investors, basically when you have a very little interest rate on your borrowings and when you have a good avenues in terms of the growth of the real estate sector, this hence comes as a sector wherein I can see exponential growth for at least 5-7 years. So having the kind of investment, the kind of FDIs, the kind of venture funds which is coming into India, especially into the real estate segment, is giving a very new dynamics in terms of their growth and prosperity. So I believe if you can ask me when is the right time, it's now. So start investing. This is what I recommend.